it's just me on my own, and I'll learn to deal with it. I'm just speaking my story. Even if it helps one person and they resonate with it, then happy days. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Have you always had hearing issues, or is it something that developed when you were older?
When I was in nursery, I was doing hearing tests, and I remember in year 1 I was doing hearing tests, and that's when I got my first hearing aid. And then as a child I was wearing it, and then when I got to about secondary school I stopped wearing it completely. Just like never really felt confident in myself, didn't want to answer the questions. When I was maybe about 20, 21, 22 when I started wearing the hearing aid, but this was only like specific places that I was going. Like if I was at work I'd wear it, but if I was going out I would take it out. But now I'm at the point where I just feel comfortable wearing it everywhere, and then if I leave the house with it I'm like, oh, today's going to be a hard day, it is, I can't hear nothing.
When you were 21, 22 and you started wearing it more, what was it that made you do that?
I think I just wasn't more confident in myself. Like when you're at that sort of age, a lot of people are asking a lot of questions, and sometimes you don't always have the answer to them, or like sort of want to fit in. As I've got older, and through boxing as well, you go in different environments and you become just more confident in yourself. And now I'm more than happy to answer any questions about my hearing.
Take me back to that first fight. How was it like for you, learning as well with your hearing, how to fight with that?
The hearing, with a big crowd and everyone, you can sort of like hear individuals of people, but overall it's just a big blur in a sense it is. But like I could hear like the referee, hear bits of my coaches, so it didn't have a massive impact, but like you could tell the difference, you can.
Talk to us about the board and their involvement. Like, do they have to check your hearing, and how often does that happen?
So when you apply for a licence, you have to do your medical every year, and then on the form it asks, do you have any hearing disabilities? And I click yes, and then when they come back to me, they were like, right, we need a professional to make sure that you're all okay. So I had to go away, get my ears looked at by a professional, and then he had to write a report and then give it back to the board and say, look, he's at no greater risk than someone with normal hearing, and that has to be regularly checked up and monitored.
And what kind of questions do people ask you when they find out? Because especially if they've not known, if they've known you for years and never known about it, they probably are quite shocked, right?
It's asked like, what can't you hear, like what's your percentage? And I sort of just give them a rough guidance of when I find it struggle to hear in certain aspects, like dinner table times, very close, quiet places, difficult to hear. Also I do a lot of lip reading as well. So like talking here with you, like lip reading, but if you had like a piece of paper in front of you, I'd find it very hard to understand what you're saying.
And so how does this affect your boxing?
There's some issues, of course, like when you're trying to listen to your coach, where we've worked together for so long. I've learnt to listen and hear out for his voice. And again, like, but when I'm in the ring, I can hear the ref, I can hear those are the two main people, and also the bell, I can hear that. But like you said, I just learnt to get along with it and not show any problems at all.
What would you say to someone who might watch this, who has hearing issues, who thinks maybe boxing isn't for them?
Just do it. Like, it seems very daunting because you think of all the things that can go wrong. The best thing is go into the boxing gym and just tell them from the get-go, say, hi, look, that's my name. I've got a hearing loss. Apologies if I can't hear everything, but this is just who I am. And then they'll go, right, okay, no problem.